So just be quiet. But for the sake of a redeemed remnant from both houses, Romans 11:5, there is therefore a remnant according to chesed. So they say to you, any man. Turn to your neighbor and say, any man.
Any man.
And even if they show great miracles and signs and wonders. Oh, what do you mean, Rabbi? Explain to me. What kind of miracles might these so-called anointed ones perform? How about flying to heaven on a horse from the Temple Mount, and in commemoration of that flight, that midnight flight to heaven from the Temple Mount on a horse, we will build the Dome of the Rock, or the Golden Dome, on the Temple Mount to commemorate this anointed one, this messenger, this so-called prophet, flying to heaven. It's a miracle. Muhammad flying to heaven on a horse? When Yeshua is coming from heaven on a horse. You see how the enemy is reversing all this? Yeshua is coming from heaven on a horse, but Islam has their Mashiach, or their prophet, going to heaven also. What color do you think that horse was? Very good, blanco, of course. Hey, the enemy doesn't even care if he's got to put a talit and tzitzit on Muhammad. Anything that he can use to sell his product. If he's got to dress up Muhammad with a talit and tzitzit, he'll do it.
He's a businessman.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Verse 25. See, I have told both houses. Look, I've told both houses before it occurs. Verse 26. Therefore, if they, circle that word they, shall say to you, now don't miss this, if they shall say, see, you've been read in Matthew 24 many times in the Baptist church, in the Seventh-day Adventist church, in the Presbyterian church. I don't care. If you don't see this as Yeshua taught it, you're going to miss the context. And a text taken out of context can be developed into a pretext. And boy, is religion good at shoveling out pretexts. I was talking to my wife this morning. I'm going to not mention the individual's name out of honor and respect. There are some religious people, whether they're Jewish or Muslim, whoever they are, some of the most mean, arrogant, prideful, intolerant, lack of love people that I've ever seen. And they pray, they daven, they pray, Shachrit, Mincha, and Ma'ariv. But they're so controlling and so it's, you know, and it all comes down to, is the fruit of the Ruach in their life? Peace, long-suffering, joy, meekness, temperance. I look at these people, and one in particular, in my life, and I see none of the fruit of the Spirit. None of it. Zero. No tolerance, no patience, no forgiveness, no humility, no humbleness, no meekness. I mean, nothing. No love, no tolerance, nothing. I don't see one manifestation of the fruit of the Ruach in some individuals' lives, and one that I'm thinking of in particular. And yet, guess what? They carry the same Torah that we do. They read the same Torah that we do. They go to shul the same way we do. See what I'm saying? You must be born again.
Amen.
As many as are led by the Ruach of Yahweh, they are the children of Yahweh. Don't miss this now. Yeshua is giving you a blueprint for the last days, and he says in verse 26, if they. So we read this from religious eyes, or in a hurry in between TV programs. We want to hurry through this. They. Oh, yeah, they. Well, okay. Well, there'll be people saying that I'm the Messiah, that I'm the Christ. No. That's not what it's talking about. What this is talking about is a group of people. One group of people representing the kingdom of darkness. And their message is that Isa, or Jesus, Yeshua, was a prophet, but there are other anointed ones yet to come. But P.S. you can't see him in the Ruach in every congregation. in every place that calls upon the name of Yahweh, in every place that loves Him, in every place that trusts the word of Yahweh, in every place that believes that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of Yahweh. He can't dwell in His people through the Kadosh, pure and set apart Ruach. You've got to go to the desert to see Him.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Don't go to the mountain. I got it. The mountain. Oh,
Desert.
Oh.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Oh, shoot.
There's a message coming out in the latter days that the only truth can be found in the messenger of the desert. This Mashiach comes in the name of his Elohim. And Yeshua said, I'm telling you before it occurs. Meaning, you don't know of a man named Muhammad. Because I am teaching you now 600 years before Muhammad will be born. He will come. This one will come. And when they, who are they? This one's followers say to you, it's not from Yerushalayim, like Isaiah taught us and Micah taught us. In the last days, the mountain of Yahweh's house will be established. For the word of Yahweh will go forth from Sion, and the Torah will go forth from Yerushalayim, and the word of Yahweh from Sion. This is a different message. It talks about another anointed one in the place of Yeshua, and the message isn't coming from Mount Moriah, it's coming from the desert. So when this guy's followers, the one showing great miracles and signs and wonders, this guy flew to heaven on a horse. This guy is said to be greater than Yeshua. And what miracle? Muhammad was illiterate. Muhammad couldn't write 2 words. And yet the entire Quran, he transcribed allegedly right from the mouth of the angel Gabriel. That's great. That's not just sign. Everybody who wrote the Bible was a literate person. They knew how to read and they knew how to write. This messenger is coming with a claim of illiteracy that produces a volume that 3 billion people, 2 billion people in the world will one day follow. And where does this message come from? The desert places. Not Yerushalayim, the desert places. When Yeshua warns his followers, it's not some general nebulous warning. He loves us, and he is specifically leading us and guiding us on how to identify this end-time beast. You follow me? He doesn't want to leave us guessing. So in verse 26, when we see the word, if they shall say to you, who's the they? Muslims, okay, followers of this individual. See, he is in the desert. Do not go. They. There's a specific they being spoken of. Amen? Pay attention. If they say to you, who's they? The one that are proclaiming the miracles of another Mashiach who has come allegedly as a prophet. Now watch this. So that if there comes a group of individuals, we learned 2 months ago it was the kingdom of darkness, a nation, proclaiming a message that emanates from the desert, notice, with a desert philosophy. Where is Mecca? Where is Mecca? In the Arabian desert. Amen? Yeshua is not just some Messiah and he just kind of gives us hints and he kind of gives us clues and gives us a general. No, Yeshua is very specific on how we are to guard our hearts in the last days and where this message will come from. Make sense? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. So if they, notice verse 26, if they say to you, see, he. Now how do we go from many false Mashiachs to a he? There's one individual here, isn't there? Yeah. Now we go from many false Mashiachs to the Mashiach. If they say to you, the Mashiach, or the most anointed